Good evening, guys. My name, most of you people know me, but for the YouTube, I'm telling. My name is Sudeep. I'm a faculty in faculty of geography at Insights, and is Mr. Adithya. He is in charge of the prelims question setting as well as the prelims expert at Insights. Okay, so we have come up with this program called Conquer Prelims. For the last 3 years, we have been doing it, and fortunately, it is doing good. Okay, the reason is I'm going to tell you the entire thing today. Why is it that we are doing good? Okay, to tell you the actual truth, we are not doing good. The students are doing good. We only take the credit. Okay, by putting the picture and statistics. So basically, if you have gone to any business community, if you have sat with any business community, if you have spoken to them, all right, how do they nurture their children? If you observe that, their children will eventually go on to become businessmen, right? But when they want to venture out as a businessman and when they go and ask their family money, right? So for example, let us say that that person wants to open up a company and they say that they want 50 crores or 100 crores or 10 crores. The father or the head of the family will tell only one thing, okay? I will give you how much ever money you want. That is not an issue at all. But the first condition that you have to make is get me 1 crore, okay? You earn 1 crore and get me that 1 crore money. Once you get me that 1 crore money on your own, with your own hard work, then irrespective of how much ever sum you want, I'm going to fund you that particular startup that you want to do or venturing out you want to do. Okay, this happens in the business world. This happens within the Gujarati community, the Marwadi community. You can go to any business community and talk. This is one thing that they say. First, give me that 1 crore, then I will fund whatever venture you want to do. The reason is very simple. Okay, that individual, when that individual will engross himself or herself in order to earn that 1 crore, that individual will have to learn the in and out of economics. Okay, the problem, what happens is, people will not see this individual, oh, should I earn 1 crore? That is very difficult. That is a very wrong way to look at. Okay, the actual way to look at it is, in your endeavor to earn that 1 crore, you earn that or not is not important. You fix a deadline and then you try to earn that 1 crore, and in your endeavor to earn that 1 crore, whatever mistakes that you make, that is what is important. Okay, so this business community, the only intention of that head of the family to give you that assignment is for you to learn the process. Okay, this is the entire philosophy of the business community giving that assignment. Okay, so that individual, to earn that 1 crore, that person will invest somewhere, fail miserably. That person will work from somewhere, not be able to work. That person will try to venture out on his own in a very small scale, not be able to do that. So that person will fail and eventually learn the rules of the game. And once that person learns the rules of the game, that person will be able to achieve that money, whatever the money may be. Okay, so once that person goes back to that head of the family, taking that 1 crore, then that head of the family will have the belief that even if I give that person 10 crore or 25 crore or 50 crores, that person will not lose out on that. The only reason is because that person knows the process. That person has made so many mistakes. That person has refined himself so many times that the person will no more make at least known mistakes. Okay. Now, if I have to take this analogy and apply to what Conquer Prelims is same as what the head of the family did to his or her child. Okay, what we are going to do to our students in Conquer Prelims is the same thing. Okay, we don't overly emphasize on content, we don't overly emphasize on skills. However, we do teach them. Okay, we do teach them. We are not telling that we don't teach them. But what happens usually is either you are overly dumped on content or you are overly dumped on skills. Okay, and skills unfortunately is seen as tricks. Now, in this entire endeavor of fight between content and tricks, what people are losing out is the process. Okay, now I will explain what the process is. Okay, how we have designed the process. Why is it necessary for you people to follow this process blindly? Why is it also necessary for you people not to interact with other suggestions or other programs? Okay, because there is a philosophy behind it. It is not that we are masters of it. We are just telling that we have designed a process and this is how the process works and this is how the machine works. And if you want to make use of that machine, you have to believe in that machine. You are understanding this? So this is how it is. See, this is November, December, January. Okay, we are only asking 3 months of your time. Okay, in the month of November, you are going to have conceptual, you are going to have a complete conceptual understanding of CSAT. Okay, so starting from December 1st, okay, starting from December 1st, you should not have an iota of doubt that you are weak in CSAT. Okay, at least the conceptual part. I am not telling you are going to solve and get 120, 130 consistently. That is not the aspect. When I tell you probability, you should not feel afraid. When I tell you basic numeracy, you should not feel afraid. Are you telling this? When I tell you any topic, you should feel the level of comfort. That is what you have to achieve by the end of November. Okay, this is our goal. Okay, so once you have done a very strong conceptual understanding of all the concepts, then from December 1st, on a regular time interval, all you have to do is solve tests. That's all is your job. Then again you should not say, I am weak in permutation combination, let me go and understand permutation and combination, I am weak in percentages, I am weak in averages, I am weak in reading comprehension. You don't have any scope to do it. Okay, whatever mistakes that you have to do in this process of prelims preparation, especially for CSAT, you have to do only in the month of November. Adithya sir is going to take care of giving you the conceptual understanding, but it is up to you to exploit his expertise. It is not up to him to tell you everything. You understanding this? So you have 1 month. Exploit whatever you want to exploit. Okay, but that is your end period. After that, you should not come out and tell, sir, teach me probability again. Or you should not go out and feel that I am weak in probability, or I am weak in comprehension, or I am weak in logical reasoning. You understanding? You are getting 30 days time. 30 days is a very good amount of days. And you are going to get 4 hours of classes every day. Okay, and that is almost coming up to 120 hours. That is huge. Okay, within this 30 days, build the conceptual understanding of every CSAT topic. We have also given you the timetable. We have mentioned all the topics that will be covered, and it will be covered. Okay, so this is the first phase. The first phase is in 30 days, conceptual understanding of CSAT should be done. No other doubts. Okay, because once you reach that comfort level in all, let us say logical reasoning as well as aptitude as well as comprehension, all you have to do is you have to take tests and write. And Adithya sir will get into the depth of it, how to go about it and things like that. One thing what I want you to tell is, remove that from your head that I am strong in quant, I am weak in comprehension. I am strong in comprehension, I am weak in quant. I am an art student, hence I can't do this. I am a science student, hence I can do only this. All that prejudices and predilection should go. Okay, that is what is our job, and we are going to make sure of that. Okay, so the first is CSAT. The reason is, one, yes, CSAT is getting difficult. Okay, and second is, CSAT is going to stay difficult. If you are feeling that last year it was difficult, there was a huge uproar, so UPSC is going to get afraid and reduce the difficulty, you are wrong. Okay, UPSC once raises the standard, it has never come down. Okay, it will always make sure either to keep the standard there or to go even more higher. As Adithya sir also was discussing with me, if you take the CDS exam, if you take the CAPF exam, everywhere the competency of the CSAT questions have gone up. It is not that only UPSC exam it has gone up. It is just that we are not aware of the change in the trends in all the exams that UPSC is conducting. Am I right, sir? So this is what is the, so if that is the case, if all the exam the competency is going up, how can you expect it to come down? It can never happen. Okay, so CSAT difficulty is going to stay there and it is going to get even more difficult. Okay, this time they focused on those areas where you neglected. More questions came from probability, more questions came from basic numeracy or permutation combination. You understanding this? So that tells you that you have to prepare in such a way that you will not let go of any topic. If you are done like that, then you will easily clear CSAT. The problem what is happening in the entire market or in how your preparation is either you segregate yourself to tell that you are good in something, you are bad in something, And also in those things that you are good at, even there you have levels. For example, if you are good in quant, even there you say percentages, averages, ratio and proportion, I'm really good. Permutation, combination, okay. Probability, I don't know. You understanding this? So these type of divisions is what is creating the difficulty. You're getting this? So this is our first goal. First is CSAT. By the end of November, conceptual building is done. No more teaching. Even you should not go about it. Okay. After that, only solving questions. What happens is, by the time you come to 60 days, okay, by the time you come to 60 days, let us say that you have solved at least 20 tests. Okay, you have solved 20 tests. By start of February, no one can shake you in your CSAT. Let them come and tell however difficult it is, you will have the confidence because conceptual building is done, 20 CSAT tests are done. Okay, if that is the case of your solving, more or less no one can shake you in your CSAT. This is the first thing. We are going to see, the reason why I'm always going to February is this is all our job is. This is where we will let go of the steering wheel, you will take over the steering wheel. Understanding this? This is all we are there. Okay. So this is what is the CSAT part. Everyone understood this? This process should be set. Okay. Coming to, one more thing. I told you 4 hours of classes will be there. So 4 hours of classes plus go back home and do 2 hours of whatever revision Adithya sir tells you. Okay. So give 6 hours every day for CSAT. The rest 4 hours or 5 hours that you have, please focus on your mains exam. Okay. I know that November is too early for you to start off for prelims. That's why we have kept November only as CSAT. So that you can go ahead and continue concentrating on your optional or whatever GR studies you want to do. Okay. Don't overdo whatever is done also. Okay. Whatever Adithya sir tells, only to that level. Okay. He knows which topic, what level to go to. Okay. Only what he tells, do that. Don't do anything else. Okay. The next thing is starting with December. Okay. So CSAT will go like this. Here you should have finished 20 tests. Here it is conceptual understanding. Okay. December starts content. December starts content. Okay. You have, we have covered all the 8 pillars. Okay. There are all the 8 pillars that get covered. For example, by the end of December, around 5 pillars will get covered. And by the end of January, 3 pillars will get covered. Okay, don't worry about that. But overall, the content part of your CSAT preparation, prelims preparation will be done by the end of December and January. Okay. Now, I will give you the list of questions and how these questions are being asked in the last year exam. What they have done is, if you observe the questions that are being asked, see, questions are based on same topics that was being asked before. The questions are being based on the same topics that was asked before. Okay, topics are not changing. I will enumerate them. I am not going to just tell you out of air. After this, we will write each and every topic that is asked. Okay, but the first thing that you should realize is, if you take any question of any subject, questions are being asked from the same topics. Topics has not changed. What has changed? The depth has changed. For example, the question is still coming on Buddhism. The question is still coming on renewable energy. The question is still coming on emerging technologies. The question is still coming on Wildlife Protection Act. Okay, I will show you now. Okay, the topics are always the same. It has never changed. Okay, the only thing that has changed is the depth. So when the depth of the question is increasing and you keep only reading the same standard book, it is not going to work out. You understanding this? This change has to happen. Okay, that is what is the one change that we have made this time in Conquer. Okay, before our main goal was giving you conceptual clarity of basics to such an extent that it will automatically make you clear prelims. But since this time they have gone into the depth, we want you to also develop the depth. Okay, so how have we designed this? So we have designed this in this way: class notes plus explanation. Okay, and then comes Conquer workbooks. Okay, then comes Conquer workbooks. Okay, this gives you the horizontal preparation of prelims, and this gives you the vertical preparation of prelims. Okay, what it means, I'll just give you an illustration. See, for example, let us say that I'm teaching rivers of India. So I give you the rivers of India, for example, Ganga, Yamuna, Brahmaputra, Satluj. I have taught you Indus, so I have taught you everything, and then I have taught you the tributaries of them. This is the superficial way of covering all the tributaries of Himalayan rivers. Now, what is vertical? Vertical is on these rivers, which are the national parks, on these rivers, which are the wetlands, on these rivers, which are the lakes, on these rivers, which are the cities. Are you understanding this? This is called vertical. You got this? For example, one more example I'll take ancient India. Okay, if I tell ancient India, what are the features of Indus Valley civilization? What are the important sites? What are the features of Chalcolithic sites? What are the features of it and some sites? So when I explain the Paleolithic, Mesolithic, Neolithic and Chalcolithic, I will give you the features, I'll give you few sites. This is becoming surface. What is the depth? The depth is, then in Conquer workbook, you are going to write all the sites of Indus Valley, all the sites of Chalcolithic, all the sites of Paleolithic. You are able to get the idea. So whatever is done in the class and explained in the class is one giving you conceptual understanding, and it will make sure that it covers all the superficial horizontal coverage of the topics. Okay, but the depth on that particular topic should come from workbooks. Now the next question you should ask is, will it be viable, sir? If I start going depth in every topic that you teach, how much of viability is it for me to memorize so much of things? That's a fair question, yes or no? That is why, where will you go vertical is those places where UPSC is also going vertical. I will show you the topics now where they are going in depth. Okay, so you are not going to go vertical everywhere, then that becomes huge. You are going to collect so much of facts that you will not be able to buy at anything. But where you have to go vertical is in themes. For example, question is coming on Jainism or question is coming on Buddhism, but no one is able to answer. The reason is because the depth is increasing. Gone are the days where what was Mahayana, what was Hinayana, all those days are gone. What is Bodhisattva? Those days are gone. Buddhist council, where was it held? What is the essence of Buddhism? Everything is gone. Okay, even in geography, simple questions were being asked. Now it has gone to the depth. Okay, where is Amarkantak Hills? Where is it getting connected? Where is Sheshagiri Hills? Sheshachalam Hills, sorry, where is Sheshachalam Hills? Are you seeing this? So they are going in depth on the same themes that we are asking before also. Okay, so the content part. Okay, I am talking about the content part. This is how we have designed the content. When we teach this, and see, when I say workbooks, don't think that in these workbooks we have typed everything and giving you. You are getting it. What I am trying to tell is, these workbooks will have themes. You are understanding? We will tell you what are the important themes, and that workbooks will have themes printed. You are going to fill the verticalness of that themes. Did you get that? So it is your effort, your searching in the Google or searching in the books and writing down that creates that process. Okay, that creates the memory in your mind when you take that extra effort to put it in your notes. Are you understanding how Conquer workbooks work? Conquer workbooks is not some blue book that I give and you start opening and you wrote. It is not a notebook. It is a book that you are going to make at the end of February, by the end of February. You understanding this? So this is the two things in classes. Okay, classes will be both superficial as well as vertical. Alright, and within the classes we will link the current affairs. Within the classes we will link current affairs. Okay, as and when, for example, geography and it is related, polity sir will do when sir is doing polity related. So that thing we will link, definitely we will link. Okay, however, we have got something that I will include in current affairs later also, but this is how the content part works. Okay, so coming back to the scale, by the end of January, we will be done with the 8 pillars, that is the basic subjects, plus the current affairs, plus the CSAT. This is our goal. So when we tell 8 pillars, it involves horizontal, it involves vertical. You got this? One addition that I want to do is, see, let us say that from 1st to 7th is geography classes. 1st to 7th is geography classes. Then 1st to 6th will be the classes. 7th will be your presentation of the workbooks. And you are going to come here and reiterate what you have written in the workbook without seeing it. This has to happen. You are understanding this? So, from 1 to 6 if I teach you, Let us say first day I taught you ABC. Okay, after teaching ABC, I told B is a theme. You have to develop a depth in that B. So I give you the assignment of how to develop depth in that B. You will go and read that and develop depth in that B. Like that, by the end of 6 days, I would have given you some 10 themes and you have developed 10 different depths in the 10 different themes. The 7th day, you have to come and do it here. This has to compulsorily happen. Otherwise, I know what will happen. Okay, the point is believe in the system and use that pressure to your advantage. I am very shy, sir. I don't like it, sir. Don't worry about all those things. What will people think of me, sir? What if I am not able to answer, sir? Don't think of anything else. Okay, use that pressure and the deadline to your advantage. That's all. If it works, when I put, see, for example, I'll teach you, let us say 17 sustainable goals. Right now, if I teach you the 17 sustainable goals, okay, and I will tell you, I'll give you 5 minutes time, by heart that 17 sustainable goals, randomly I'll ask the question for anyone to stand up and answer. Will you not by heart that? You will by heart or not? Why will you by heart it? The pressure, okay, the pressure to perform. You are understanding this? So use that pressure to your advantage. This is what we are also telling. Okay, every subject, the last day of the subject will be a presentation of the workbook given by the students and not us. I hope you understand this. And the presentation will not be given by only one student. It will be given randomly by any student that we choose. Okay, this has to happen. Take that as a positive. It is not a negative. Okay, in that way, what happens is you are not only just filling the workbook with facts. Otherwise, what happens? I'll tell you. See, the problem is by the time you come to January, you have so much of content in the workbook. February, you will only spend to buy out that workbook. You're understanding this? Instead of doing what we tell you to do, in February you will be thinking so much of things are there, I don't know anything. Concepts anyway would have made you understand, but what about the facts? The exam now demands for you to know the facts. You're understanding this? So your job is to make sure that you are competent enough not only in our class notes, but also the workbooks. And how are we going to justify your study in workbooks? The last day of every subject. You have to go give the presentation randomly. You're okay with this? Fine? Okay, this is how the content works. So you got the goal. CSAT, 8 pillars that have horizontal and vertical and as current affairs. Okay, this is what by the end of January. See, the goal is very simple. If you believe in the system and work properly, by starting February, okay, starting from February 1st, if you sit and start studying any subject X, it can be polity, it can be economy, it can be geography, any subject X, you should have got the competency to finish this subject in a matter of, this is our goal. When I say finish the subject, it is both vertical and horizontal and this is the goal. This is what we want you to get by the time you come to February 1st. And this can happen if you just go doing what we tell you to do. Imagine by February 1st, if you have got the competency to finish the subject in 2 days, 2 days from morning to evening, if you sit, you are finishing one full subject. Third day, you are going to write one test in the morning, one test in the evening. So every 3 days, you are able to revise the subject once and write 2 tests. Are you understanding this? So in 30 days, you are going to revise 10 subjects and you are going to write 20 tests. In the month of March, you are going to revise all the subjects, the 10 subjects once, and you are going to write 2 tests on each subject. You got this? By the time you come to March, how many days do you think you want to finish one subject? You will be finishing it in 1 day. You got this? That is where by February we will stop, guiding you. Okay, I told you we will take off the steering wheel and you will handle it. Okay, when I say we will stop guiding you, it doesn't mean that we will stop contacting you or talking to you or conquer face to face is there. I'll tell you what that is later. When I say we will stop guiding you, it means sir will not come and teach you percentages again. I will not come and teach you reverse again. Teaching is done. Okay, we will not teach you anymore. Okay, after that comes guiding you. Okay, what is that guidance? We will talk later. But you got to know, this is the entire goal of the process. That is why we were told to do 2 batches, we would have got more students, we do one in Delhi, we do one in Bangalore, more students would have come. The point is our philosophy doesn't allow us to do, because this is the process that we want to create. You asked why Conquer will always give more result. The only reason is because our students always inculcate this. Okay, creating that particular process is what we are good at. Exploiting that process should be what you should be good at. Okay, and that 12% students who cleared, prelims last year, when everyone told that it is very difficult, is only because of that process. Okay, these students blindly told what we did. They never asked questions. I mean, not like you should not ask questions. They never asked questions against the belief of this process. They believed in the process. Okay, believe in that process. That's all. If we tell you what to do, you do it blindly. Don't worry about it. Your job is to buy out that. You just buy out it. Don't ask why I have to read this. What is the point of reading this? It has become too factual. I cannot memorize. The moment you start negativity coming in, that will hinder your memory. You understanding this? So believe, those 12% believed in this blindly. Okay, so you also have to do it. The second is they were hardworking. As I told you, 7th day, you should proactively come and do it. You understanding this? Don't worry about what people will think of me. Will I be doing anything right? What if someone laughs at me? How will people take me? Don't worry, my English is not good. Don't worry about anything else. You have to proactively come and do it. That shows that you are diligent enough. And the third thing is stop, expecting any type of spoon feeding from material perspective. Sir, I need this material, I need that material, I need PDFs of this. Nothing will be given. Teaching will be done completely. All contents will be covered. Conceptual understanding will be given. Workbooks will be given where you will fill the data. This, what we have promised, we will uphold. But don't think of any spoon feeding. And it should not be done also. You are clear with this? You got the process? Everyone. This is how it is. If you believe in this system, I will promise you, what we are telling right now, the commitment that we are giving you, we will we will stand here on February 1st. Okay? And you will see the confidence that is there in your faces. This is the challenge that I can take, provided that you believe in the system blindly and follow it. For the next 3 months, right? November, CSAT and mains, whatever preparation. December, only prelims. The next January, only prelims. See, the problem what is happening is some people are thinking that December is too early to start. Okay? What update the coaching system has not taken is, before the prelims was in August. So everyone used to start preparation in the month of March or February. Correct? Now, the prelims was preponed. Now it comes in the month of May. When the prelims has gone back 2-3 months, your preparation also should go back 2-3 months. That is the first reason. The second is, before, prelims was not a game like this. Mains was very difficult. Prelims was actually a little sane. Now prelims is becoming more and more insane. Mains is becoming more and more sane. So it wants you to give more time for prelims. Okay? So please have no doubt. All those people who are thinking that what will happen to my mains preparation, in December I would have done this, I would have done that. Just know that if you can clear prelims, that time period between prelims and mains, you are going to be very, very efficient. At least what I have seen with my students is they'll be 10x more efficient than what you do now. So whatever you are going to learn in the 10 days, you will be able to finish that in a matter of 2 days post prelims. You are getting this? So when you are committed from December for prelims, be committed. When you are committed, don't think my optional is left out, sir. GS2 is not yet done, sir. GS4 I am not that strong, sir. Essay I have not practiced, sir. Don't have any type of feeling like this. Because prelims, it requires you to think in some way. Okay, prelims, as sir is going to emphasize, it needs you to develop a mindset. Especially for a pattern that is coming like this, what Adithya sir tells, that line of thought is very, very important for prelims. If you don't develop that line of thought, you cannot beat the change in that elimination technique. You understanding this? If you don't develop that line of thought, what people are telling? People are telling that because they have removed the elimination technique, if they have given 3 statements, you have to know all the 3 statements. Is it realistically possible to know all the 3 statements? It cannot. You understanding this? There will always be one statement that is going to kill you. So, what should be your line of thought to handle this statement is what he is going to teach you. Okay? And develop that. If you are diligent enough, if you are committed enough fully to prelims, you can develop that. If you are half-hearted, okay, here also I'll do, there also I'll do, you will not get that line of thought. You understanding this? Hence, we want you, starting from December, to be fully committed to prelims. Forget everything else. Now, CSAT, 6 hours, do your mains exam for 6 hours or 5 hours, whatever it is. You got this? Okay. The next is, see, Conquer has 7 components. Conquer, you don't have to write all these things. This is only for making you believe in our system. Okay, it is not a marketing strategy because you have anyway given money. Okay, it is all over. It is just that we want you to make believe the system works like this. Okay, conquer content, conquer tests, conquer workbooks, conquer presentations, conquer face-to-face, conquer report cards, and finally is conquer current affairs. Okay, these are the 8 components of Conquer. 8 components are designed for you to help in different ways. CSAT, as I've already told you how it works. The first is the conceptual building phase, and the next is only solving tests. Okay, problem, if you face anything in solving tests, you can meet Adithya sir, that's not an issue. But once the conceptual building phase is there, have no doubt, have no prejudices, build that concept properly. The next is conquer content. This has both horizontal as well as vertical. Integrated is current affairs. Okay, the next is conquer tests. Okay, we have designed it with a very conscious mindset of how the questions needs to be asked. We is a very wrong word. He has designed it. Okay, I am just there. But anyways, so the way he has designed it is, it has to test your basic competency. One, how strong is your basics? It has to also check your logical deductive abilities. Are you able to logically deduce answers by applying interlinkages of topics? It also tests your factual sense. What is factual sense? There are few facts. As a matter of common sense, you should mark it right. There are few facts. As a matter of common sense, you should mark it wrong. It is not that you have to know about that fact. Your common sense should tell it cannot be right. Your common sense should tell it has to be right. Are you understanding this? So there will always be some set of questions that will test your factual sense. Okay, and then some set of questions that you should not attempt. Okay, so he has divided it very nicely in that way, and he has created, or he is creating that question papers. So these tests, okay, when you write these tests, it is not like other tests where we are just putting the 100 questions for the sake of it. Each and every question is designed for understanding what your mindset is. That is why this test is linked inherently to this. Okay, the tests have a very good interlinkages to this. So, conquer tests and face-to-face is going to happen in the month of, see, it is going to happen in the month of February and March. Okay, by the time your concept should have been very strong. By the time revising one subject should not be some difficult task for you. You understanding this? So, all you have to do is, morning you will get up, 2 days you will revise a subject, come and write a conquer test. Along with this, you can also write insights tests. Along with this, you can also write vision tests. Writing tests is never a, a bar. Write tests, not an issue. But conquer tests have some meaning for every question. Okay. Now, what happens is, once you write the conquer test, you have to yourself update the conquer report card. Okay. Conquer report card will have different segregations. One segregation is how many questions have gone wrong, the number of that questions. That is the question number of those which has gone wrong, and why has it gone wrong. You are understanding this? There will be many sections, but one important section that I am emphasizing is the questions that have gone wrong, question numbers, and the reasons why it went wrong. So every time you come to us for Conquer face to face with the Conquer test that you have written, you should not come empty handed, and we are not interested in your marks that you get, we are interested in this. And even in this, we are more interested in why you are going wrong. And in those questions where you are going wrong, because only then, by looking at where you are going wrong, we can give you that personalized solution. Some people will have problems in guessing, some people will have problems in over analyzing, some people will be having problems in logical deductions. Are you seeing this? No one person will have the same problem. How will we understand that? We cannot keep introspecting you, it will take a lot of time. If we can get the report card, we already know the question numbers very well. Which question number, what type of question is it asking? Okay, is it asking basics? Is it asking application based? Is it asking logical based? We know that very well. So the moment we are seeing the question numbers, we exactly know what the problem is. Okay, and more than that, we are also asking the reasons why it is going wrong. So you would have written the reasons. So that will give us an ample scope to give you a proper solution. What exactly should you do, or what exactly is your weaknesses to overcome your marks in MCQs? You understanding this? This is the philosophy behind Conquer test, Conquer report cards, and Conquer face to face. These three will run together in the month of February and March. Okay, you will have around 18 GS tests. Okay, and these 18 GS tests are designed to test this. The last 4 or 5 I think are full length tests. That is fine, but 18 is too less, according to me at least. But 18 is compulsory. Okay, after that, outside that, you can do anything else. Okay, Vision, Shankar, I will not, Insights, it is okay, you can do anything you want to. Okay, but these 18 are compulsory for us to understand where your strengths are and where your weaknesses are. Did you understand the design? Okay, the last, so workbooks you got to know, presentations you got to know. The last day of every subject is Conquer presentation, that is done by Conquer students. You understanding this? Okay, the next is, the last is Conquer current affairs. Okay, one, when we are doing the Conquer content, okay, we'll obviously integrate the current affairs subject wise and go. Also, in the month of April, I will take a series of current affairs class to give you a summarization of everything from prelims perspective. Okay, so that is overall that will give you a proper, because see, in the month of April you start feeling that irrespective of how much you have studied, oh, current affairs, I know that. Okay, so to make sure that that doesn't come, to make sure that you're feeling that secure, I'll do that at the end. Okay, maybe your 6 to 7 continuous classes where we purely focus only on current affairs from morning till evening. Okay, that will remove that fear of current affairs. Okay, so this is the overall program, and this is the overall idea that we have conceptualized. Clear? We have clarity now? Do you want to believe in the system? Okay, fine. So this is what we wanted to tell. Starting now, Adithya sir will get into the questions and aspects of it, but before that, I'll just give you the glimpse of how this year's questions are coming. Okay, so you can make a note of this if you want to. See, modern India used to get many questions before. Now modern India has gone down. Geography used to not get many questions before. Now geography questions have gone up. International relations, maximum questions that we were asking is 3 to 4. Now it is more than 15. You understanding this? The point I am trying to make is, never try to guess which is the high priority subject, which is the low priority subject. That's a wrong game actually. Okay, never guess. Ancient medieval is more questions, so let me study more that. Medieval they are not asking anything, so let me reduce it. This is a wrong way to think. There are 8 important pillars. All 8 pillars are important. That's all. Okay, which will come out next year, you don't know. You don't have any control over it. But what is it that you have control over? Develop proficiency in all the 8 subjects. Okay, let them ask. This time they are asked geography and international relations in a high number. Next time they will come back to economy or polity only. You understanding this? So the point I am trying to make is, don't have priority subjects. That is gone. That went long back. Before, I only used to tell before. Polity, economy, modern India. 3, you will get 40 to 45 questions. Include environment in that, you will get 55 questions there only. So 4 subjects you study, more or less 55 questions. Now it is not like that. You are understanding this? Priority subject is gone anymore. There is no more called priority subjects. Any subject can become priority and any year. Understanding this? So the point is, your attitude should change now. Just because you are sitting in an ancient India class doesn't mean that that subject is weak. Just because you are sitting in a polity class doesn't mean that the polity the order of questions will come. Nothing like that. Have a same type of mindset for all the subjects. You got this? Okay. Anyways, so the first is geography. This has this year taken a lot of questions. Okay. So the questions were on rivers, ports, trees, hills, minerals, Earth's atmosphere. I'll put this in climatology. You can sit. tropical rainforest. Again, I'll put it here only. Climatology, Earth's atmosphere. The next is tropical rainforest. Okay. Next is seismic waves. And the next is specific heat of land and water. Specific heat of land and water. Okay. Now the change, what has happened is, look at this. This entire thing is coming from Indian geography. Okay, and this has taken more weightage compared to the other parts. Before, world geography used to, used to be the higher percentage. Though geography questions were less, most of the questions were world geography. Now this is taken a backstage, and Indian geography has taken a more precedence in geography. Which of the following are deciduous trees? They are given a list. Okay, Amarkantak Hills, Seshachalam Hills. Okay, where are these hills joining? That was the question here. Minerals, they are given one question on here also. They are given one question on uranium, and they are given one question on titanium, and they are given one question on coal. Okay, see, that is all in the context of India only. They have given those questions. Okay, so in a way, Indian geography has taken a very high precedence. Geography itself was the highest asked question this time. Okay, so this is one. The next is international relations and world mapping. Okay, international relations and world mapping. World mapping, according to me, is places in news. That's why I put it like that. Okay. All right. So international relations, you have one east-west corridor, BCIM corridor. Okay. The second is World Water Development Report. I'll tell you the reason why you have to write this down at the end. Okay. Stability and Growth Pact of EU. Fourth is Arab Peace Initiative. And the fifth is Global Compact on Migration. Okay. Now look at mapping questions. 1. Land bordering Ukraine. Okay. Second, civil strife and food shortage in Somalia. Third, countries surrounding Congo Basin. Four, regions in news, reasons for it to be in news. Okay, they had asked, match the following 3 pairs. Fifth one, areas of conflict, country. For example, it has Donbass, Kanchan, etc. Next is Sixth, again this is also match the following. 3 pairs. Next is Chad, Mali, Guinea, Guinea. Okay, what was common in all these countries? See, the amount of questions that they are asking international relations has changed enormously. Okay, now overall, why am I writing 3 pairs is because these are 3 independent informations that you should know. They are not interlinked. Okay, if they are asking one in Israel, Palestine, they are asking one in Kokborok in Georgia, one is in Congo. Are you seeing this? In pairs also, there are 3 independent informations. So, in general, 6 plus 2 plus 2, almost 10 places in news are asked. Okay, 10 places in news are asked, this time in international relations. The reason you should know is, one, Adithya sir will tell you how to study this. Okay, the second is, when you are studying, always make sure that it overlaps with this. It should make sense. Whenever you are studying, it should make sense with this, whatever broader framework that you are writing. You understanding this? Otherwise, you will read unnecessary things. Okay, so this is, you got this? Can we proceed? Next one. The next is economy. Look how economy has changed. Gone are the days when WPI was asked, IIP was asked, CPI was asked, foreign exchange, appreciation and depreciation of currency. Okay, look how the questions are coming. One, the common questions are sterilization. Next is, which of the following are capital markets? The third is 15th Finance Commission. What was the horizontal devolution parameters? What was the parameters in the horizontal devolution? So these are very easy questions. They are conventional ones. Now comes the application ones. One question is on INVITs. Second is interest rate hikes. Third is carbon markets. Fourth is intangible investments. Fifth is there is something called S3I, sustainable investment in infra and innovation. Sixth is central bank digital currencies. Seventh is Indian global exports. Okay, look at this. All these are application based questions. They cannot be answered just by your basic knowledge. Okay, they're all applications. But there are few things that we cannot tell today how to solve because it is in YouTube live. But there are few things that Adithya sir will tell you. As I told you, he will teach you the line of thoughts. Okay, in every question, 2 statements will always be very clearer. There will always come third question or the third statement where you need that line of thought. You're getting this? So I am just giving you how the trend is in every subject. Okay, in geography, the questions have increased and Indian geography is the priority. In international relations, places in news has become a priority. Okay, in economy, application based questions are more compared to conventional questions. You're getting this? The next one. The next is polity. One question was on due process of law. Second was, what is the purpose of constitution? Third is finance bill and money bill difference. Fourth question is election of president. Fifth question is First Amendment. Sixth question is Supreme Court judgment on Article 16 of 4. Seventh is scheduled areas in India. Okay. The next is, these are a little tricky. Prisons and Prisons Act 1894 and Home Guards. There's a question on Home Guards. Okay, pretty direct. Fine. There is nothing like they're asking outside the realm of basics. Okay, polity, except that Home Guards and Prisons Act, more or less everything is something that you have heard of. Okay, the next one, environment. Look at how environment questions are coming. Okay, one question came on community reserve. Obviously, this you should know because Wildlife Protection Act is a theme. The next, second is mercury pollution. Third is green hydrogen. And fourth is biodiversity management committees, BMCs, in Biodiversity Act 2002. Okay, these are conventional questions. Okay, now the problem where it takes is, look at this. The questions asked is on marsupials. The question is asked on invasive species. It is asked on nocturnal species. It is asked on species that can do waggle dance. It is asked on Indian squirrels. It's asked on orangutan. Okay, look at this. These are all again application. So how to go about this? That is the puzzle, correct? Is it that you have to start studying everything, all the animals, know their features? How to go about this? That is the puzzle we have to solve. You're getting this? So overall, this is what environment is. Okay. On one side, there are set of basic conventional questions. In every subject, there is one set of basic conventional questions that will always come. Okay. That's why one thumb rule still stands today. And the thumb rule that still stands today is, if you are really strong in your basics, this is the thumb rule. You can write this and keep. It will always work in every prelims. Okay. One thumb rule that always works is, if you are really strong in basics, if you don't do any silly mistakes in basics, and if you can use your common sense, you will get 5 marks more than cutoff. That cutoff may be 80, that cutoff may be 120, doesn't matter. Okay. If you are really strong in basics, do not make any silly mistakes in basics and use your common sense in a few questions, you will get 5 marks more than cutoff. This is the thumb rule that will never change. Okay. And that basics is always this. See, this is basics. This entire thing is basics. See, this is basics. Are you seeing this? There will always be some set of basics. See, for example, land bordering Ukraine is basics, countries bordering Congo Basin is basics. Are you understanding this? For example, if you go to geography, specific heat, seismic waves, climatology, Earth's atmosphere, tropical rainforest, these are all basics. Are you understanding this? Every subject will have its own basic set of questions. If you don't do any mistake in those basic set of questions, it will always add up cumulatively to 5 marks more than cutoff. This is the thumb rule. Irrespective of you join, conquer, you don't join, you do on your own, use this thumb rule. You understanding this? Hence, basics will always stand with its own strength and merit. Okay. Anyways, so geography is done, IR and world mapping is done, economy is done, polity is done, environment is done. The next is ancient. The next is ancient India. Okay. One is they've asked well-known sites. Okay. Next is stupa. One question was on stupa. One question was on ports. One question was on Sangam. One question was on dynasties of 8th century. Okay. One question is on Jainism. And one question is on Vijayanagara. See, any theme, has it changed? This theme has been coming from the last 3-4 years. The same themes have been repeating. The one thing what has changed is depth. Okay, that is, you have not heard about those sites only. Okay, there was one more question, wait, literary work. Literary work plus author. Okay, you can only do this if you have gone one extra step. For example, if you study who were the important famous literary works of Gupta period and Mauryan period, in a normal conventional book, questions will not come from that. But questions will come from Mauryan and Gupta period only. You are understanding this? But questions will not come from those literary works given in the conventional books. So you have to go to that one extra step to learn the extra literary work and authors that are there in the Gupta period but not there in your conventional books. You are understanding this? That is the development of depth, and that is what they are playing with. You got this? So this is ancient India. Modern India, can I move? Okay, modern India did not have much questions this time. One was surrendering of Dio. Surrender of Dio to Portuguese. Governor General of India, that is Governor General of India. These are acts. Okay, the next is they had asked names of archaeological excavators. Okay, so the only 3 questions came from modern India. Okay. The next is science. Always, if you have any type of bias towards science, always treat science as your friend, because science in prelims is your savior. Okay, science will always be easy. Alright, as you know, emerging technologies is currently the theme. It was the theme, it will be the theme. Okay, they can go 1 or 2 questions into the science of it, but technology will always be the focus area. Now look at this. One question was on carbon fibers. 2, the question is on functions of accelerometer. 3, the question was on space terms. It was on space terms like cepheids, nebulae, pulsars. It was on which of the countries have own satellite navigation system. Then ballistic missile and Agni. Okay, so then Wolbachia system method. Then carbon capture and sequestration. Then aerial metagenomics. And the last is microsatellite DNA. Microsatellite DNAs. Okay, except the last 2. All the other things have you heard or not? It is not something that is outside the picture that you don't know at all. Yes or no? Other things you have heard. So if you have some type of scientific sense, that is what will be taught to you, some type of scientific sense, you can always deduce the answer. Okay, because you expecting yourself to learn every statement and go will never happen, and that should not be the goal also. Okay, how to develop the scientific sense and how to approach the answers of science is what you will get to know. Okay, but look at, see, the reason why I am making you write is when you write it sticks. Okay, and when you study, it will spark in your mind that yes, this will come, or this may come in the prelims, this may come in the prelims. Okay, if you just see a ready-made thing, it will not stick in your memory. Okay, so this should be your guidelines. Whenever you are getting confused, keep looking at this. So before you start studying any subject, look at the topics that have come, so that it should spark. Whenever you see that subject, this topic can come, this topic can come. That feeling should be there. Intuition works provided you have a practiced mind. If your mind is practiced, your intuition is also seasoned. Okay, if your mind is not practiced, obviously your intuition is also vague. That is why in the beginning aspects of your prelims preparation, when you are solving MCQs, we always tell you not to use your intuition, because your intuition is not yet ready. Now whatever intuition that is there, it will just do plain guesswork. But as and when you keep doing 10 rounds of revision of one subject, and when you are reading that election of president, it is not making sense. You don't know what exactly is it, but it is not making sense. That means your intuition is telling it is wrong. You are understanding this? The only reason is because your intuition has seasoned itself to that particular concept so much that innate in you, you know that there is something wrong in that statement. But initially that thing that comes is actually wrong. But in the exam, when you go and sit, that works. Intuition definitely works. Okay? But that intuition should work not under the pressure of time. If it works under the pressure of time, you will take irrational decisions. Okay? That is what we will discuss in the time management, all those aspects. But overall, this is how it is. Alright, this is science. Okay? So we are done with the conventional ones. What are the new things that are introduced? Whenever UPSC introduces a new thing, it carries forward with it. Okay? For example, this time they told that they are removing elimination method. Wasn't this clue given in the last year? Okay? They gave that clue last year and they just made sure that it is much more wider scale, it is implemented. Okay? Whatever new thing they bring, it will be done in a wider scale next time also. So new things that were introduced, one is government programs and policies. This actually had gone off, now they are bringing it back. Government programs and policies. Okay. One is Janani Suraksha Yojana. Okay. The second is anemia or anemic Mukta Bharat strategy. MSM Enterprises Development Act 2006, Self-Help Group, Indian Public Health Sector. Okay, these were few. There was one match the following, and that match the following asked 3 acts. One is Official Secrets Act 1923. Another is Indian Evidence Act 1872. And the third is Arms Act 2019. Okay, now will you sit and by heart Bharatiya Sanhita, that new IPC amendment that they have done? No. Why do you not do it? Because it is still not implemented. The second is it is now forwarded to the Parliamentary Standing Committee where they will discuss and make amendments to it. So such acts will not come or be reflected in the exams. You are understanding this? So all this will give you a window to study what and to not study what. If there is a bill that is in its draft stage, it will never come. If they ask you Personal Data Protection Act, definitely it will come. Okay, the reason is it was passed very recently. You are understanding this? So this is a new realm that is now they have introduced. So this definitely they will ask more questions on this. Okay, so this is one thing that they have introduced. The next is miscellaneous. These are dead easy questions. Okay, one is they have asked ores and they have asked you what is the mineral of this ore. Okay, the next is some questions. Okay, purposely they ask some mushrooms are pesticides, some mushrooms are something, some microorganisms. See, these are thrown for you to take marks. Okay, you should not let go of these questions at all. Next question is which of the following are HFCs? Next question is heavy machinery and the role of hydrogen in decarbonizing them. Okay, the next is G20. Okay, so this is what 1, 2, 3, 5 questions into 2 is 10 marks. This they have just thrown for those genuine candidates who have learnt and worked hard but who don't want to miss out on writing mains. They have thrown it. Now it is your job to catch it. Okay, if you have made mistakes in this or if you have not attempted this, that means it is your fault, not the exam's fault or the paper's fault. You understanding this? Like this, I have just written 5. If I take other topics also, I can extract more and put it under this. But this comes under miscellaneous, very dead easy questions. Okay, and there are a few questions that I have left out because they are unnecessary. You don't have to worry about those questions at all. Okay, for example, why is it called Constitution Day? Why do they celebrate some festival like that? Okay, so all those questions I have completely left out because it may not. For example, one question is on national flag. The breadth of the national flag should be 30 by something. So all those things I according to me, they are not important for you to prepare. You know, you don't know, it is okay. Okay, but whatever I have written here, these thematics must work. You understood this? Okay, so finally I have written more or less whatever I had put this. So I have given you the philosophy of Conquer, what is the conceptualization of Conquer and how it works. Okay, last one addition that I will do is, if you take current affairs, how to study current affairs for prelims is you study under the syllabus of mains. Okay, what I am trying to tell is keep 3 books for prelims current affairs. Okay, how do you keep those 3 books? Keep one for GS1, keep second for GS2, keep third for GS3. You understanding this? Because see, when I say carbon capture and sequestration, it comes in environment also, it comes in science also. Okay, when I talk about biofilters or recirculating aquacultural system, that was asked last year. Agriculture I missed out, I'll write it. Recirculating aquacultural system, that comes in science also, that comes in agriculture also. Are you seeing this? The UPSC in mains exam is done so beautifully that whatever will overlap is there in one paper. Okay, so you also maintain the same paper. For example, all the current affairs of agri, science, environment, disaster, economy, everything let it come in this only. In economy, World Water Development Report, okay, that is economy also, environment also, international also. You understanding this? So there will always be a proper coherence of overlap of topics according to this. For example, GS2, you maintain polity and governance. IR also you can put it here, but IR is a little this thing, but anyways, okay, and here comes ancient, medieval, culture and modern India on one side, then comes geography on the other. Okay, so keep these 3 books. Whenever you come across something new, put it in these 3 books. Okay, so you should study them under this heads, and this is how even we will teach, but however this is how it is. Okay, so this is the overall aspect that I want you to know about Conquer. This is the orientation. Was it helpful? Okay, will you follow the program? 100%? If you do it on February 1st, okay, you will see that very different confidence in your faces. Okay, and I want you to see that. Okay, take the presentations very seriously. Don't be half-hearted. Give your best. Okay, because only if you have that pressure you will perform. Okay, enjoy that pressure. Only if you enjoy these pressures, when you go back there and you have the 2 hours of pressure, you will not feel so anxious. Okay, with that I'll stop it here. I'll give Adithya sir the mic so that he can continue. I'll see you in the month of December, because November the entire month will be handled by Adithya sir. Okay, thank you so much guys, all the very best. Okay.
Okay. Mm, mm, mm. Okay. Yeah, good evening. Okay, so yeah, so I'll not take again, the same thing again. So tomorrow we are anyway starting CSAT, so I will talk about CSAT tomorrow only in the class. Just to, basics about CSAT, those who are, not part of it and, who are online students, I just say that CSAT has basically 4 parts. Okay, is one thing you should always know that watch the syllabus or read the syllabus. Within the syllabus, if you look at it, there are 6 to 7 subheadings are there. For example, one is, let's say, interpersonal skills and communication skills. Okay, another is decision making and problem solving. These two are irrelevant now, as of now, because the CSAT was introduced in 2011 when there was no mains. Mains still had one GS paper and 2 optional paper basically. So at that point of time, ethics was not part of mains. When ethics was introduced in 2013, this problem solving and decision making will be taken care in the mains itself. So that kind of question which you can see in 2011 and 12 paper, they used to give you a case study and then they used to give you 4 options. What would you do, and then within that 4 options, 2 were correct, 2 were incorrect. Again, 2 are correct because you will not have given the opportunity to explain why you have taken second option, right? So you would have better explained it. So there will be 2 better options, 2 less better options, right? So what they used to do, give, for first 2 options, they used to give equal marks, full marks. Other 2 marks, again, since they have not given you the opportunity to tell why you are taking bribe, for example. Okay, there may be some reason for why you are taking a bribe, right? But you have not given the opportunity to explain. So however, that was less, favorable option. So they were not having the negative marks. They were giving 0 for that question, but they were not having negative in decision making and problem solving. But now, after introducing ethics paper in GS, this has been taken off. Okay, and also when CSAT was introduced, there was also something called English comprehension. Apart from reading comprehension, there were some passages where there was no Hindi translation. Now there are Hindi translation. If you look at 2011 and 12 paper, there were few questions where there were no Hindi translation at all, right? So that will be completely to check your English, the grip of the English language rather than about your reading comprehension. Then after that, CSAT has made qualifying and, protesting, since it is not helping someone who is from the rural background, they removed that English part in the first part. So that part of the syllabus is also no more, no more important for you to study. Now only there are 4 parts. What? 1, basic numeracy. Second, logical reasoning and analytical ability. Third, reading comprehension. Fourth, general mental ability. So if you look at here, what you should observe is basic numeracy is different from general mental ability. Okay. Now what we do usually is we club the things. Time and work, time, speed, distance, profit and loss, all these chapters which are formula based basically, they are different from basic numeracy. Basic numeracy, you do not have any formula. It is that, you should know how to take percentages, how to do ratio proportion. We do not have any formula, only you should know what is ratio proportion in the first place. You should know what is, reminder, what divisibility rules. They are not having formula based basically, rule based kind of stuff. Now, this has been asked 26 questions last time. Why paper has become difficult was, usually this used to come around 18 to 20 questions. Okay. Around 20 questions used to be come from, 20 to 25 questions used to be come from logical reasoning. That is syllogism, directions, blood relation. These were very, easy. Once you understand the concept, you do it. Last time what happened, this has been reduced to 15 questions. Instead, this has been increased to 26 questions. Okay. What is remaining constant from last 5-6 years is reading comprehension. Reading comprehension is around 26 to 28 question will come. Okay. So that is the reason we are keeping it 1 week for reading comprehension and almost 10 days for basic numeracy. Okay, so that we will cover it in detail in classes. Basically, we will start with very basic. First two classes will be a little bit slow kind of class, because many from humanities background who wants to would have left their mathematics after 10, they would have not touched it. So then first we want to discuss those things in the first few classes, first 1 or 2 classes, so that once you get a touch over it or hang of it, then you can move to the important topic. So someone who are already good at it may feel little bit slow in the first 2 classes, so you have to bear for 2 classes. Okay, that is about CSAT. So CSAT, since there are 4 sections, your job is to give equal emphasis to all 4 sections. Basic numeracy is not just, you should not treat basic numeracy like time and work. Time and work is basically one chapter in general mental ability, but basic numeracy is complete a syllabus, complete a section. So time, speed, distance is one chapter in general mental ability, but basic numeracy is full complete a section. Okay, so usually what happens is we take 1 or 2 days for basic numeracy, give 3 to 4 days for time, speed, distance. Right? For example, first regular problem, then relative speed, then train problem, then boat problem. Now we are spending too much of time where where if you look at the question or returns, every year one question will be from time, speed, distance. Last year that too has not been asked. Okay, so while you are planning, I always suggest that you should always treat this exam like business. Okay, business in the sense, business is not something what is business? Business in the sense, if you are a businessman, you always look at the perspective that where you can put lesser investment and get more returns. So your investment here is time basically. So you should know, okay, which topics are more, where you are getting more questions. What is themes? With important themes, you are investing more time. Okay. Similarly, here also you are supposed to do the same thing. Even in the examination hall, let's say one of the chapter on, let's say you have done exceptionally, prepared well during your preparation in, let's say, time, speed, distance. The question is little bit tricky. You are not getting, what is constant here. Then in that moment, within 30 seconds, if you are not able to decode it, then you should move to the next question. It's as simple as that. Because how businessman looks, most easy question also carry 2.5 marks, most difficult question also carry 2.5 marks. My job is to invest my lesser energy and get more returns. And however, there is some ego that I have solved this, practiced this. So that you can do it after the examination without seeing the key. First solve it, then see the key for your satisfaction, right? So, but however, in the examination hall, you should not carry it away with all these things. Okay, and this is first thing. However, with respect to course, we will discuss all the stuff. Since Sudeep sir has discussed these things basically about the subject. Now, looking at the subject, what exactly is needed, I will talk to you. Okay, then we will see few questions. What is basically skill, or what is the line of thought? 1 or 2 questions, or let's say 10 questions if you discuss, you will understand what is line of thought means basically, what Sudeep sir was talking about. He was talking about some line of thought, how you should implement it, right? So line of thought is nothing but how you look at the things. You have the knowledge, you have understanding, the broader understanding by reading the newspaper, reading your polity, economy, other things. So now if someone asks you the question, right? For example, prison ka question there was. What the question was? Prisons were maintained and administered by state government. Now what you will do? Prison come under state subject. That is your polity knowledge. Law and order comes under state subject. Police comes under state subject. Land comes under post subject. Agriculture comes under state subject. Now with your knowledge, you know that these things come under state subject. What is the meaning of state subject? State can make law. State can look into it basically exclusively unless there is a demand from the state itself or from Rajya Sabha itself to make a law on it, center will come. Otherwise, it is the complete jurisdiction of the state. So if something is under the state, let's say state can make its own rule on prison. 2021 question, parole question. One statement was, every state can have its own rules on, they are not saying that every state is having separate rules. Can have is a possibility, right? When that is possible, if it is under a state list, every state can make its own rules. That is just a logical extension of your political understanding or subject polity understanding, right? So only that you are supposed to think of, right? For example, if I look at the question, okay, few question I will discuss, just I will start from the end. Okay. home guard. I'll just search home guard. Some, unconventional question we will look into. Okay, because direct question anyways you should know it, because that is your, let's say, president election if I am talking about, you should know it, because that is your core polity. Though I can tell you logically how to solve it, that is not the way to solve it. The core subjects question you have to solve it through your knowledge only. Okay. Now let's look at this question. Okay, let's take a random questions. Okay, because these are something unconventional, you would not have prepared it. You have gone to the examination, you have not prepared it. But what is your knowledge about home guards? Who are home guards? Have you seen home guards anywhere? In the traffic, wherever there is complete traffic, they will come and help you. When cricket matches is going on, police cannot be deployed in that large number, then home guard will help you. That is that, they are working, they will be above state police or they will be below state police. Below state police. That is your basic understanding, right? Now, only that much knowledge is needed basically. So, if let's say, if they are below state police, can they have a different rule in different state, or they should have the simple, single rule in all the states? Different rule in the different state, because every state has to work according to their plan. So, they will also have some rules for the home guards, what they should do. This is the basic understanding, right? Now, if you look at the question, home guards are raised under Home Guards Act, some under Act, some they have raised, and rules of central government. Is it should be rule of central government or rule of state government? State government, because they are working under state police. If they want to work under state police, based on that state, they have to work upon according to their, right? So, the central government give it a uniformity across the country, right? Then they will not be having the difference in the different states. If you want them to have different role in different states, then it has to be raised under the rules of the act it has been given. Okay. Now, under what they will work, what are the conditions they should work upon, that will decide by the state government. That means that it is the rules of the state government that will decide how they should be. So, even by looking that, this will be wrong. Okay. Otherwise, it will give you a uniformity. This is just a line of thought. What I am saying is, it is nothing that you don't know. You are only saying the answer. Only in the exam pressure, what you will do, you will go back to your knowledge component. You say that I have not studied home guard. Will I be able to do it? Okay, then automatically you will not even read the statements properly. Right. Second statement, the role of the home guard is to serve an auxiliary force to the police in the maintenance of internal security. During their maintenance of internal security, they work as an auxiliary force. Is there anything specific information here? Right, they work to increase the efficiency of police. They help in police doing this. These are the generic statement which you cannot take it off. That saying that it is wrong. When you can say something completely wrong, when it is involving noun. If I say central rules, central government or state government is a noun part. Here I can make. They increase the efficiency. They help in handling the situation better. These are the generic statement. You cannot say that it is wrong in any sense, because it is the application, it is the role of their playing. Third, to prevent the infiltration on the international border or coastal areas, the border wing home guards battalions have been raised in some states. There are some coastal states and there are some international boundary states. In some of the states, to maintain the infiltrate, some wings have been raised. Even in one or two states, if you have raised, it will be correct. Right, it is also again a generic information that you should not worry much about. So, this two will be correct statement, this will be the wrong statement. Okay. Here it is not about you are studying about home guard and going and doing it in the examination. With respect to your understanding of the subject, you will apply it. Right. So, if you look at the constitutional government, almost 4 times question has been asked on the constitutional government. What is constitutional, what is constitutional, what is constitutional. So, wherever it is putting the limitation, the constitution is putting limitation on the government. That has been asked 3 to 4 times in last 4 years. If you look at the paper, 21 it was asked, 23 same question, 20 same question, 18 same question. Okay. If you look at the paper, you will understand it. So, the same thing, one time what is constitutional government means, what is constitutionality means. The same has been twisted, right. So, the polity, now what is happening, there are 2 kinds of questions are coming in polity, apart from your regular Laxmikanth. One, the conceptual clarity, whether you know what is liberty, what is equality, right? That kind of question, right? Second part of the question is, recently the new trend is the governance related or law related, parole, that is more towards criminal justice. If you look at the question from last 4 years, the questions were from parole was asked, judicial custody was asked, then apart from that, advocate on record, senior advocates, who are lawyer, who are attorneys, that was asked basically. What was the role of bar council, that was asked, whether it can give, for law education, it is the nodal authority, that was asked in 2022. So every year they are asking 1 or 2 questions on the judicial part of it. Even this year also they had asked about judicial part of it. So your job is to go one step. This is one theme now. Now this theme is emerging theme. Now what is your job? You will start covering most of the topic in a very layman term. It doesn't mean that you should have the complete, judicial custody, police custody. There are 2 types of custody, right? One under the magistrate custody will be taken. One police want to inquire, they will take under the police custody, right? So like that, there can be cognizable offense, non-cognizable offense. They will not ask you a word which you never heard of. They will ask you what is the difference between cognizable offense, non-cognizable, compoundable, non-compoundable. What is the difference between anticipatory bail or regular bail? Okay, regular bail is different, anticipatory bail is different. So our transit bail is different. So they will just ask you the term bail meaning, okay, and whom it will be applied, other stuffs basically, right? Then also they can ask you with respect to the functioning of, if someone is registered in Bar Council of Karnataka, can he, go and put a case or, file a case in Maharashtra, if this is the question. Or one state may, if you are a member of a state Bar Council, can you go and perform in other state? Okay. Now, if it is a Bar Council of India, then you can do it in Supreme Court. But what about, let's say someone is registered himself as a lawyer in a Bar Council of Karnataka, can he go and fight a case in Maharashtra? This is the question. I am asking you basically. Can he? Okay. Can he? Though these are the questions that can be asked, right? So you have to go a little bit ahead and try to understand in layman term. You don't need to again cognizable, don't make the list. What is basically cognizable offense? What is non-cognizable offense? What is the difference? Yeah, so if you are arresting someone without warrant, that means that serious crimes, right? Then murder has happened, you cannot go and get the warrant. By that time, the guy, that would have been accused would have been escaped. So you will go and arrest him, right? So if there is more heinous crime, then that is called cognizant, where there is warrant is not required. If there is some civil cases, to search house, other stuff basically, you may have the civil cases, that kind of stuff basically you can have non-cognizable offense. What is difference between civil law and criminal law versus personal law? There can be a different part of it. Now, since law has been taking, because now UCC is also in news. UCC will take your personal laws or consolidate personal laws. What is personal laws? How they are different from civil laws? How they are different from criminal laws? Like that, once you start, digging into very surface level. Again, as I am saying that, don't go so deep that, you are making, then you should feel that I will take the law optional as a, don't do that. Just, have the basic understanding. If you just hear the word, then you should know what is the meaning of that word. That's it, right? Because judicial custody was a lot of time it was in news. If you remember 2021, Arnab Goswami judicial custody, Riya Chakrabarti judicial custody, Aryan Khan judicial custody. So it was, people were taking into judicial custody and it was making a news for 15-20 days they were taking and it was happening. So when that was happening, that will become the interest of UPSC. So with respect to polity, Laxmikanth is still holds valid, but along with that, NCRT is also needed. Okay, that is, if I go back subject wise, polity, your NCRT is very important, which will give you a conceptual clarity. Okay, then Laxmikanth, then basically newspaper and some newspaper plus from online based on themes. Okay, so this is what you are supposed to cover. That is, again within NCRT there are our constitution network, that is one, and political theories. Okay, these two NCERTs would be sufficient. Okay, and also Laxmikanth, you should not read the Laxmikanth as it is. Laxmikanth is basically a very bulky book. 30-40% is needed for the examination. Another 60% he has dumped the content. Okay, but what is dumped, what you should study, that you will understand through the previous year question paper analysis. What happens is, let's say non-constitutional bodies. Okay, now he has given 10 non-constitutional bodies. Are there only 10 constitutional non-constitutional bodies? No. There can be another 10 which Laxmikanth would have covered. Within that 10, what he has covered? Who are the members, how they will appoint, who will be there in that committee, along with Prime Minister, one leader of opposition, one cabinet minister. In another committee, Prime Minister, leader of opposition, Home Minister. So like that they will be. Now you are mugging up the things, right? But if you look at the last 10 years, there is not even a single question on non-constitutional body, except in 2018, that is about difference between CPCB and NGT. That is one. This year, they have given 4 bodies and what is constitutional body among them. That was the question they had asked, nothing else. Otherwise, from last 10 years, there are no question on non-constitutional body. Even if they are asking, what they will ask about non-constitutional body is not about their members, because their members is not your interest. Because there will be 100 non-constitutional body, they will have their own laws, they will appoint somehow, they will remove somehow, that is not your interest. With respect to non-constitutional body, what is your interest? What is their functions? What are their powers? Can they take, for example, NHRC, can they go suo motu? Or complaint has to be given? Can they visit jail? What is the time period within which crime has occurred they should visit? Okay, so these are the things you should be worried more about, because otherwise there can be n number of non-constitutional body. You will end up mugging up with only Laxmikanth. There can be other than Laxmikanth non-constitutional bodies also there, statutory bodies are there. That is not UPSC's interest. UPSC don't want you to know who are their members, how they are appointed, that is not your interest, how they will get retired, what is age, all those things are not required. While giving the resignation to whom he will give, all this is not your interest. Your interest is their powers and functions. Organizations, powers and functions. So these has to be completely skipped from Laxmikanth. You should not study all these things, okay? And that Laxmikanth book is basically written to make your life easier. He has given, let's say, president has a different type of veto, qualified veto, suspensive veto, pocket veto, absolute veto. He has given the term, but nowhere that has been a legal term there. Nobody has said that Indian president do not have the qualified veto. That terms are basically made you to understand, because there are different type of veto. To explain you better, I will use different terms to explain it. There is nothing called effective majority. There is nothing called absolute majority. There is nothing called special majority. Constitution only says Constitution 2/3 present and voting. 2/3 present, or only 3/4 present and voting. Like that, they will just give you the data. They will not say that this is called effective, this is called. So you don't need to mug up those things. Try to understand, it's fine. But those are something which he has made you to understand better, so that you can classify yourself and understand polity better. That is the reason those things should have been put. But otherwise, you don't need to mug up about this qualified, pocket and word. These words are not important again. So how you have to do? Laxmikanth should be clubbed with bare constitution. You have to see the constitution, what article has been given, and read about that in the Laxmikanth. Read what is given. And along with this, the new trend is basically, one is judiciary, another is parliamentary proceedings. This year also, ethics committee has been set up recently. So you should know about those things basically, parliamentary proceedings. That would be more than sufficient to polity. Along with newspaper, whatever the term you are getting, you can go through it. With respect to economy, basics is already Sudeep sir has told. NCERT 1, that is micro versus micro as well as macro. Okay, there are at least 2 to 3 questions would have asked in already microeconomics. What is demand and elasticity? Right, the basics that we will discuss in the class. All the concept that has been dealt in the chapter will be discussed, but it is better that you go through once micro and macro. Along with that, any one material. Okay, all are same. Okay, any one material, whatever that you feel comfortable. Someone may be feeling comfortable with Mrunal, they can study Mrunal. Someone else studying, some book that they are comfortable, they can study comfortable. But don't, make too many materials. Just make one material, whichever comfortable to you, whatever that you have studied till now, you can keep that apart from NCRT. Along with that, recent, applied part. Now, applied part is what? Nothing but what government is focusing upon. Now, what this government is focusing upon, let's say, last 10 years, the new government is there almost, right? So, what it is focusing upon in different sectors, let's say, they are focusing on infrastructure, right? Railways, metro, bullet train. So, if you look at that, highways, national highways, infrastructure is one of the priority of the government. Second is, let's say, foreign trade. Okay, this is one of the major, which they are working upon, giving more foreign investment. Foreign trade means it also include FDI, FII. If you look at last 4-5 year question, there are question difference between FDI and FII. Which among the following are part of FDI? Then they have given 4 different options, right? That is, what were the options that has been given? Some, GDR, Global Depository Receipt with some condition one. Another was, let's say, non-resident, something, external bank account, something like that. So all these options would have been given, and FII with some condition. These were given in 2021, I think. Okay. So external sector, they are focusing more. That is, foreign means basically external sector. External sector, if you look at, and second is, since this government wants to raise the investment, right? Where you will raise the investment? In the capital market. Through different bonds, T-bills, right? If you look at in last 4-5 years, there are many questions on T-bill. This year also bond yield, right? What is the meaning of bond? What is the, which among the following are the capital market? If you look at here, this year, if you look at it, questions are not difficult, but only okay. This is the question. Government bond market, call money market, treasury bill market, stock market. Okay. What is capital? What you should know here, what is capital market? Money market, there are 2 types of market, right? One, you need money for a longer duration. Another, you money need for a daily to daily business, right? So, if it is less than 1 year for a regular management, we call it as a money market. But if it is more than 1 year, then we will call it as a capital market, right? Then within capital market, there can be different, loans can be there, bonds can be there, there can be different instrument. Within money market, call money market, T-bills, there can be a different instrument. That is, but the whole idea of money market is having money transaction less than 1 year. T-bills are, you have T365, T91, T182, all these things are what? 91 days, 182 days, this is less than 1 year. So that means that treasury bill market should be money market. Same with call money market, as the word itself is saying, it is a money market, right? 2 options is done here. Other is government bond market, that is the loan for 3 year, 4 year, that is basically capital market. Stock market is anyways a capital market. So the question were not that difficult, this kind of question, but at least what you should know is what is capital market, what is money market, and in a very layman term. If it is you are giving for a long term loan, then it is called capital. If you are handling for your daily needs, then it is basically money market, which will have less than 1 year. So all the treasury bills will have less than 1 year. Bond market, or bond is nothing but loan, right? You will give a bond, but loan, bond market is what? I am taking a loan, but I am giving you a bond. I am guarantee if I don't give you the loan, you can put this bond and get the money. That is a guarantee kind of. Now you tell, I will write it in the bond and tell you. That is the guarantee. Otherwise, it is a secured loan. Bond market is nothing but a secured loan, not rather than an unsecured loan. Otherwise, if you just know the meaning of it, this question can be solved, right? So what I am saying is, though it can be only 1, only 2, only 3, does not matter to you, right? For these kind of question, having the absolute conceptual clarity will be helpful. So covering these things are important. That is applied part in economy, then any one book, then NCERT. This would do. So read the newspaper and also see what government is doing, what government is focusing upon. Themes are nothing but in terms of current affairs. Forget about static. In terms of current affairs, themes are nothing but what world is striving for, what government is striving for. Only 2 lines, your job is done. What this government is, smart city is striving for. Swachh Bharat it is striving for. Cleanliness, health and hygiene it is striving for. Infrastructure it is striving for. So whatever the government, let's say government is focusing more on sports, right? They called all Olympic medalists or other players also for a chai pe charcha kind. They called it with the prime minister after the medal, right? So if you look at that 21, there was a question on Olympic. This year also new 4 sports has been added in Olympics. So you have to see which 4 sports has been added to the next Olympics. Because this government is little bit giving more focus towards the sports, right? So when the government is showing interest, it becomes your responsibility to go through it. Okay, so that is another thing. Cricket World Cup happening in India, then you should know a basic information, right? Basic information about ICC World Cup. Okay, that you should know. Whatever the information that can be, right? Which of the country has won unbeaten in World Cup, they can give 1 or 2 statement. Or one statement can be West Indies has won, World Cup 2 times or 3 times, or Australia is the most, highest number of times that has won the world. Like this, they can give some statement. At least try to get some information about overall ICC World Cup from the beginning. Okay, that is your job to do, because this is happening in India. We are giving lot of advertisement to it from the government perspective, right? When we are doing it, it becomes your job. You cannot say that it is sports I am neglecting. Whatever the government is idea is, that will be your job. What world is striving for? More for renewable energy, more to fight against the climate change, right? So whatever, that is why the question will be on renewable energy more, biofilters more, which are environment friendly. Let's say agriculture, this government is focusing upon. But what is the idea of agriculture it is focusing upon? It is Paramparagat Krishi Yojana, that means organic farming. Krishi Sinchai Yojana, that means that irrigation, how per drop more crop. That is more about water efficient, more about organic, more about increasing the productivity within the limited land, right? By having the different environmental friendly practices. So automatically, if you look at the last 7-8 year question, they are not asking you the traditional question, which state will give crop, give the more crop of wheat. That they are not asking. They are more asking about the question sustainable sugarcane initiative, because the government is working more towards the sustainable agriculture. When they are focusing more about sustainable agriculture, you should also look into the terms, whatever that is coming in the sustainable agriculture practices. Which among the following is advantages of drip irrigation? This was the one question that was an aspect. This year they have asked about biofilters. If you look at it, though it has been given in science tech technology, it is also aquaculture, right? Okay. What is that? Yes. If you look at it, this aquaculture, recirculating aquaculture system. Again, basically the environment friendly, right? You are using the same water rather than wasting the water. You are recirculating the aquaculture system, right? Now, and they are using for the biofilters for it. Like rather than regular chemical filters, they are using the biofilters. So what is the advantage? That will be more environmental friendly, right? So if you look at the statement here again I am just also showing the line of thought, right? If it is environmental friendly, it should be helpful in more for the organism that is there, as well as it should save the water, basically. That is the basic idea, right? If you look at the first statement, biofilter provide waste treatment by removing the uneaten fish feed. Makes sense? Okay. Biofilter convert ammonia present in the fish waste to nitrate. Fish waste, wherever that ammonia is mostly the chemical which is pollutant, that will remove it and convert it into nitrate. Third, biofilter increase phosphorus as a nutrient for fish in water. What will happen if there is an increase of phosphorus or nitrates? It will lead into eutrophication, which will further increase the CO2 and further it will lead to the death of fishes itself. So if it is something is increasing phosphorus, will you use the biofilters? No, that means that it is having the negative consequences, which is not environment friendly. You can remove this safely. This is your line of thought basically. What is line of thought is basically not just, I studied about biofilters or not is not the important. You know that biofilter is environmental friendly. You are using it for the betterment of the aquaculture. Wherever they are saying increase the phosphorus, that means that you know that with your GS knowledge, increase in the phosphorus leads to eutrophication. If something is leading to eutrophication, you are not going to implement it. That's it. So that is the application. That is the line of thought. So use your sense to understand the thing. This you yourself can do. But only thing in the examination pressure, you go to your knowledge component. Whether I have studied biofilters or not. But if you are calm, you will read the statement. Then you see whether it is making sense or not. That is why after further many revision, your basics become so strong that you say that no, this will not happen basically. This is having a negative consequence. Right? Then you yourself feel that this cannot be correct. Right? Though that will happen after certain revisions. Okay. So this is what? Again. Okay. Then with respect to history, again I told that many people are studying this. What is that? Tamil Nadu NCRT book. Okay. This is not NCRT, Tamil Nadu State's syllabus book. It is good because it has been organized it in very well. But however, don't expect questions from this. Okay. Only for southern history you can expect question from it because it has been covered in detail compared to other books. Sangam, everything has been covered detail here. For that you can study it, but other than that you cannot expect many questions from it. So study old NCRT plus new NCRT because the weightage has increased. Old NCRT plus new NCRT. Then themes has to be covered vertically. What are themes? Indus Valley Civilization, Mauryas, Guptas, Buddhism and Jainism. These are the 5 themes in the ancient India. Right. Now if you look at this year, last 2-3 year question paper, in medieval India, more focus is happening on the regional kingdoms. Before there was, people, if you ask about medieval India, people were saying, it was started with the tripartite battle, then, Delhi Sultanate came, then Mughals came. That was the, only in the finally, Vijayanagar kingdom came. Only that 4 to 5 kingdom used to be studied. But Yadavas, Pratiharas, all for them, we are not studying those regional kingdom which were there. Rashtrakutas, Hoysalas, these were not being studied also. Even in book also you don't get the detail, even in the NCRT. Now what UPSC has decided is, medieval India is not just because Delhi Sultanate, Mughals and Vijayanagar, it is not just about 3-4 kingdom. There were many more kingdom across the different have contributed in their own ways. So we will start asking about Kakatiyas. They will start asking you about, Puri, that kind of, eastern kingdoms that is being asked, western kingdom that is being asked, Rajput is being asked basically, right? So the regional kingdom has taken place. Along with that, you have to study history from the one temporal perspective, another is spatial. Temporal means, let's say, 2nd century to this century, who was there. But don't study Maurya in silos. That means that if I am studying Maurya, who were there during Maurya in the southern kingdom? Maurya was not, had complete, occupied India. Right? They did not have the complete, empire was not spread from Kashmir to Kanyakumari. There were some areas where their Mauryas were not there. Who were there? Who were the contemporary of Mauryas? Who are the contemporary of Guptas? Don't study the separate chapter as separately. Rather, club them into a different timelines, 2nd century to 3rd century. Study all the kingdoms that come out together. So that whenever the question can come, you can easily attempt with respect to the contemporary kind of question. Okay. That is another thing that is being asked. For this, NCRT would be more than sufficient because other books are too bulky to study. Like Romila Thapar, Upinder Singh, these books are too bulky to study, which will not give you worth your time or investment with respect to time. Rather than that, study generally for other topics, but for these important themes, Sangam Age, one of the theme, okay, or southern kingdoms are one of the theme, go deep into it. Only for that chapter, go deep into it. Whenever you are feeling that, think from the examiner perspective. If you are setting the paper, you want people to know more about Ashoka, right? Because he has contributed in many ways, not just, he was non-violent, converted to Buddhism, not only that part. With respect to his cultural contribution, right? He has done a lot in the times of art and architecture also. So you will feel that you want to ask more question about Ashoka. However, NCERT covers only basic information. Now with respect to Ashoka, you cannot stick to NCERT. You should go little bit, study little bit more in the internet and other sources. With respect to, let's say, Kalidasa, he is called, greatest poet of Indian literary. Then don't mug up only his books. That you can do for other authors. For Kalidasa, you should list books and also know the theme of that book, what this book is about. What is Malavikagni Agmitra is about. What is Meghadutam is about. At least 2-3 lines. I am not saying that again do the PhD in it. But whenever you feel that as an examiner, he feels that people should know more about Kalidasa because he has been the legend in the Indian literature part. You will call, Shakespeare as, Kalidasa as Shakespeare of India. Rather, Shakespeare is Kalidasa of England basically due to the timelines, right? So who is not greatest, who is less greatest, that is not the question. With respect to timeline, Kalidasa is much earlier than Shakespeare. So, right. So he cannot become Shakespeare of India. So in that way, basically, what I am saying is, if you think that he is Shakespeare of India, that means that he is the one of the legend in the Indian literature, then just knowing about his texts is not sufficient. You should go one step ahead. Okay, this is the theme. Vertical is nothing but some are more important. I am going little bit more about Gandhiji is more important, Ambedkar is more important, Rajaram Mohan Roy is more important. Now, songs from prison you can solve only when you know that Gandhiji is more important. I am not sticking myself to textbook or spectrum. I am doing little bit research on Gandhiji because Gandhiji is more important than other freedom fighters. Ambedkar is more important than other freedom fighters. I am going depth into it. If you are having a basic understanding about few of others, Motilal Nehru, whatever there in the textbook, that would be sufficient, right? But Jawaharlal Nehru, it is not sufficient. Okay, so what I am saying is you should always know that some topics as an examiner, it looks akbar. Just listening to or reading from the textbook is not sufficient. Because whoever want you to ask the question about Krishna Devaraya, his contribute towards culture is also more, apart from as a kingdom. So you can expect more question from him. So wherever you feel that they are more important than others, then you should not stick yourself to only NCERT preparation. This is the basic idea. Whoever, getting consistently good marks, what they are doing is, for whatever the important topic, they are going depth. Renewable energy, they are going depth. Within renewable energy, solar energy, one step ahead. Other renewable energy, they will cover. Because renewable energy is one such important theme. Biotechnology is one such important theme. Emerging technology is one such important theme. So, for example, artificial intelligence question has been asked, blockchain question has been asked, NFT question has been asked, Web 3.0 question has been asked. So, central digital currency or whatever that RBI has recently, that has been asked last year. Right. So, every year on blockchain technology, that is question is being asked. Artificial, it has been asked. Internet of the things, it has been asked. Right. Now they can ask cloud computing, they had asked 2 times. Right, last time they had asked about SAS, 2022, which among the following is, about the correct about SAS Polke, they have done software as system. So, what I am saying is, whatever that is happening around you, that becomes very important. Then, what is the difference between machine learning? At least have the basic, what is machine learning. Don't again do the PT, because you will not understand, because they also know the students are writing from non-humanity background, humanities background. Right, for them, they won't be knowing depth of technical nitty-gritties. They are not asking it. They are asking about the term, what it means. Now, for example, in space, what are the emerging? Cryogenic engine. What is the meaning of cryogenic engine? What is green hydrogen? Green hydrogen mission government has done. If you look at this year paper, there were 2 questions on green hydrogen. Right, because it is a renewable energy. So, what I am saying is, once you understand, government is also focusing upon it. Coal bed methane. Right. So, you should start emerging resources. Coal bed methane, methane gas hydrates. These are the questions. Shale gas. Now, shale gas has been already asked, coal bed methane has been already asked, methane gas hydrate has already been asked. Like that, you see what are the emerging energy resources, which are much more can give you. Now, nuclear fusion is happening. ITER, experiment, this thing is happening, reactor is happening in France, right? So, that project is happening, which is different from fission. Now, whatever the nuclear reactor you have, they are the fission reactors. That is, uranium will divide and become 2. But when 2 hydrogen come and together and become helium, we call it as fusion, because 2 are coming together and making the, which will, which happens in sun or solar system, which, give you a lot of energy, right? Now, this can be asked, because this project is happening to fulfill the future energy requirement. Now the question about fusion can be asked, difference between fusion and fission can be asked, right? Tokamaka's can be asked with respect to ITER project. Have the basic understanding of it. If the word tokamaka's recently was in news, what is it about? Then they will have ITR project, then nuclear reactor, something, nuclear weapon grade. So uranium, there were 5 to 6 questions. Within thorium, there are asked the questions because India is focusing more on thorium. So that has been also asked a question. So what I am saying is, some are more important than others. Go in depth about it. Okay, that is the themes. Themes, you don't need to think that what are the themes, how do I find the themes. You think from the examiner perspective, what are themes to you. Among the social reformers, who are the themes to you. Right? Rajaram Mohan Rai, Ishwar Chandra Vidyasagar are more important compared to, let's say, Devendranath Tagore. Devendranath Tagore, 1 line, 2 line information is sufficient. But Ishwar Chandra Vidyasagar, go little bit in depth. That's it. 1 or 2 extra information, whatever that he has done major, that would be more than sufficient. Okay, don't again go too depth, but try to cover them more from the, not just limit yourself to NCERTs among them. Go little bit deep, thinking from the examiner perspective. Right? And whenever 2 similar things are coming, always try to cover them parallelly. Don't try to cover Lok Sabha separately, Rajya Sabha separately. In comparison, the question will be asked. The statement of Rajya Sabha will be taken and put it in Lok Sabha. Statement of Lok Sabha will be taken and put it in Rajya Sabha. Taken, in with respect to S wave, it will put the statement of P wave. With respect to the statement of P wave, they will put it in the S wave. So they interchange the things because they know that both the statement you have studied in book, but you are not clear about it. Basically, you will get confused. That is why the paper will become difficult. Otherwise, it is the options that make paper difficult, right? Not the question itself. If I ask you what is the, Gandhiji's birthday, then it is very easy, right? But if I ask you the time of Gandhiji's birthday, then, it becomes time of his birth, most difficult question, right? So it is about the option again, how I am asking and how I am putting the options together. So what I am saying is, try to cover these topics in more detail, so that your themes will be covered. That anyways we will discuss it in the class, but this has to be covered. What government is striving for, what international communities as a whole we are striving for. Nuclear free world we are striving for, then all the convention related to nuclear, CTBT, NPT, all these you have to study. It is that simple. Okay. So IAEA we are striving for, to have only the nuclear source for energy. Then about functions of IAEA, other things you should, supplementary protocol, all these things with respect to IAEA you should know. Okay, that is your job to understand themes. Then with respect to modern India, again NCERT is sufficient. Again with respect to, don't take spectrum and read each and every tribal revolt that has been given. Okay, lesser important tribal revolt will not be asked at all. Even if they are asking, at the mass where it has been taken, only the revolt state it is related to, only 2 statements, that is enough. Don't go who was the leader, why it was happened, for the minute. But Santal, Munda, all these things you should go in detail. I mean, whatever there in spectrum, that would be sufficient. If you look at last 10 years, because tribal revolt, only 2 questions has been asked, right? That is one about Santal, one about Munda rebellion, right? So the only 2 questions has been asked. But what I am saying is, for these topics, don't go too depth also. Try to cover at the surface level, that would be sufficient. Don't put too much of data which you cannot remember. Wherever you feel important, you give more time. Gandhiji, rather than, remembering about the small freedom fighter you never heard of, forget about them, write about Gandhiji more. Okay, that is how you are balancing your content basically. That is another thing you are supposed to do. Okay, now with respect to this program, this is the basic plan. Okay, we have planned it in such a way that in December and January, CSAT test will be there. It will not be in the February, because after the classes you should also start preparing on a daily basis for CSAT. In the month of December and January there will only, and other things is, whenever you are preparing for the class, let's say Ancient India is happening in December, Polity may happen in January. What we are promising is we will finish all the things in the month of January. So don't be in a hurry that Polity is more important, so I will also study parallelly Polity. Don't do it, right? And whatever we are saying, there can be 100 strategies. Right, there are 100 people who are clearing consistently. Let's say, with respect to me, I cleared all my UPSC, prelims with more than IFOS cutoff. I have my own strategy. One of my friend also was clearing every time. He has a different strategy altogether. No, I was not someone who was writing more tests. I was very, less writing test, 1 or 2, 3, 4 maximum. Okay, but he was, only depending upon the test series basically. So different approach that was working for him. He was also scoring absolutely fine. I was also scoring absolutely fine. Now think that you are a person, you are coming to meet me. I will tell you a strategy at what I think about it. He will tell a strategy what he thinks fit to be. Now you, whether to write the test or not the write the test, you will get confused. So what you will do, you will want to take two best things from me, two best things from him, then combine and make your own best thing. That will not work. Okay, don't try to cover, one strategy will work. My strategy also, if you follow diligently, that also work. His strategy, if you follow, that will also work. But if you think that we will take the combination best out of two and then I will make it, then it will not work. So what we are saying is, believe in one strategy. Whatever the strategy it may be, let's say some of your senior is saying, someone who is in the service is saying, let's say your cousin will be there, others will be there. If he is saying, if you want to follow it, you follow it. But blindly follow that only. Then don't mix with another 4 or 5 strategies. Too many, cooks spoil the food. That is the basic idea. Let have one strategy, work on it, master in it. There was a Bruce Lee, this thing is there. I will not worry about someone who has practiced 1,000 kicks, 10,000 kicks. Different kicks basically. But I am worried about a person who has practiced one kick 10,000 times. Okay, because he has become so good at it basically. So I am more worried about him or I am more scared about him rather than someone who has practiced 10,000 different kicks. Okay, so the same thing. If you are doing it one plan, diligently make it, work on it, you fine tune it, it becomes very good at the end of that. Okay, so that would be done with respect to this. So other things are fine. You don't need to worry. Just follow the timetable. Okay, in between, first you give everything to the prelims. If time remains, then whatever that means Sudeep sir was talking about, right? My optional has not done, a little bit is remaining. Do it after you are finishing daily targets of prelims. Okay, otherwise you are basically mounting these, piling up these things, later it becomes very difficult. So rather, first you do these things, whatever the worth time, if your remaining time is remaining for you, then you can invest that for your mains, whatever that remaining your plan. Okay, so that will be basic idea. So from tomorrow we will meet at 2 o'clock. Okay, tomorrow I will take first half an hour, 45 minutes, what is it CSAT about in detail. Then we will start the class. First 2 classes, as I am saying, it will be little bit slow and making you understand even addition, subtraction, where to do the, which question you should do the addition, which subject you should do the subtraction. That I will handle that kind of question in first class basically. So the assuming that you would have forgotten those things. Okay, and I will take the question from 6th standard, 7th standard NCERT. So that you will understand where exactly you are doing it. Then we will work upon it. Okay, fine. Okay, give your commitment. We are giving our commitment including on Deepavali, right? So and we are a family people, right? So when we are giving our commitment in such way, we expect you to give also basically, right? So let's make it a higher number this time, 20% from 12 to, right? Right, all right then. Chalo. Okay, thank you so much. For online students, whatever that is about these things, we will address it. Okay.